is up, guys? You're back with another YouTube video. Today we are going to be talking about the potential severe weather in the next 5 days here. So there is going to be a lot of severe weather here. And then, right now we are looking at a day one massive risk here of severe weather here. And you can see it stretching into all of these areas right here, with the main threats being in this little region shaded in yellow right here, with in areas like Shreveport, Little Rock, really close, I think a little more to the west of Memphis. Paducah is in that, Evansville, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Springfield, Peoria, Chicago, Madison, a lot of these different areas, Davenport, a lot of these different areas are going to be impacted by this, are possibly going to be impacted by this event shaded in yellow, with the main threats being in this yellow area. And then if we switch to the tornado threat, it's a big, huge 5% risk of a tornado shaded in here, with my opinion being the main threats being shaded right in this area right here is my area of main threat and concern. Right in this big area. And then the wind risk is, if a big line of storms does form here, it could produce some big wind damage. But if these storms are more discrete, supercellular, they will produce more tornadoes, and they will bring in a bigger hail threat here in many of these areas that are shaded in yellow, that are mostly shaded in yellow, but maybe a little bit in brown. So yeah, that's the risk. And then if we look at the models here, for some reason on Radar Omega here, her model hasn't been working, so I guess we'll just have to use the NAM 3KM model, but it's fine, I guess. So if we keep going a few hours, I do think that the main threats here will start around past 1 p.m. You can see maybe a little bit of storms forming here in Texas that could maybe turn severe. And then some storms up here. And then this is valid. If you want to see the storms, this is right here on the top. I meant when they're coming. At the top of my screen where it says valid Saturday, which is today at 11 a.m. When you see that day, that means you can see the different hours of when these storms will head into your possibly area here. And then at 12 p.m. here on the NAM 3K, they show some possibly severe thunderstorms heading in here around noontime in Illinois that could become discrete and produce some tornadoes here. And then even here in southern Missouri, all the way up into the St. Louis area, could get some severe weather here. And if these storms become discrete here in Chicago, they could produce some more tornadic thunderstorms. Even here near Little Rock, there could be a few storms forming that could produce some wind, hail, and maybe even a tornado or two. And then a second line might form here and then what the HRRR thinks is a second line will form here around 4 to 5 p.m. here and impact the St. Louis area. And any of these discrete supercells right here form, they could produce some big time, they could produce some tornadoes and some big time hail here, all the way up to Bloomington, down to southern Missouri. So yeah. See if you guys want to know how the HRRR is not working out. Actually, it's working now. It shows it's working now, which is a good thing. This one, the HRRR thinks a little different here. Thinks that there will be more storms forming right here into the St. Louis area, and all the way down into the Little Rock area, more in a line of storms that could have some discrete supercells in it that produce some tornadoes and big hail and wind. And then you can see it's stretching into the St. Louis area here, all the way up into northern Illinois into southern Wisconsin. That will later on head to the Chicago area, all the way down here. And you can see them stretching through and producing some possibly discrete supercells here near Springfield, producing some big hail, wind, and possibly tornadic thunderstorms. And also here near Chicago, there's also another tornado threat which could produce damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes. This, what the HRRR is showing here looks a little more of a linear mode for Chicago, less than discrete like it's showing down here. But things can change as the NAM3 can thinking more up here in the northern Illinois instead of down south down there. But then maybe these storms could become discrete here and produce some tornadic thunderstorms here. And then by the time they reach over here, the ingredients start to get less, and it's more changes into a linear mode and just really starts to weaken once it gets about there. I'm really mostly agreeing with the HRRR model here more than I am with the NAM3KM, I think. And then if we go to the dew points here, you can see some big time dew points forming in here, and so there's some big dew points here in the Little Rock area, and even over here, and then even some dew points over here, and then a big area of blues into this area, which I think has remained threats of some severe thunderstorms around here with into the 60s, and then a sharp dry line forming here with very dry air behind it. Not the biggest dry line I've ever seen, not the most impressive, but you can see there is some big dew points going all the way up north into Chicago of the 60s in blue, and then even stronger here. And then look at these darker blues that are forming here near St. Louis, and then even some really almost 70s here in Little Rock to support thunderstorms. And you can see the dry line heading into St. Louis, and then really coming in here, and then Chicago's being impacted by these sharp dew points and pretty high into this area. This area could get some tornadic supercells to form and produce some tornadoes as this gets up to almost 70 degrees of dew points here, guys. And even into Paducah here could get some severe thunderstorms, as you can see about 60s dew points there in that area. And even could extend into Indiana with more of a wind threat. But I do think the tornado and hail threat does start to weaken once it gets into Ohio and Indiana here. So yeah. Now if we look at the surface base cape here, you can see, okay, I went too far. Sorry, whoops, I need to put this back to 1. Okay. You can see if the biggest threat of your weather is if storms can get up above 1,000 JKG of surface base cape here. So if you see anywhere above 1,000, that will support thunderstorm development here, and there's a lot of it down here, but not as much ingredients for other stuff down here. But we'll really focus into this area, as you can see, you can still get severe weather below 1,000, but the highest chances of thunderstorm development will be above 1,000 here, and a little bit of it down there. And then you can see I'm seeing a little bit of 1,000s here near the St. Louis area, and all the way up a little bit of 1,000s, all the way up to maybe a little bit to northern Illinois here. And you can see some yellows here, as you can see some almost up to 2,000 here near the St. Louis area. And and even down here also has areas of up to 2,000, and then even up here near Springfield, and then all the way up here, and some just very good energy into this area right around here, with yellows of over 1,000 JKG all the way up here in northern Wisconsin. Like, just keep stretching through. And I think this JKG seems, the HRRR thinks the JKG will start to weaken here, and not as much for Chicago area. And I do think the NAM is thinking more for the northern side, and then the HRRR is thinking more for the southern side. And you can see some 2000s here, and maybe some storms eating up some Cape here near Paducah. So yeah, this could be also some severe weather around that area too. And then if we look at the supercell composite here. Okay, I was on the. Oops. You can see there is a little bit of supercell composite heading all the way up in here. It's not a lot of it, but you can see we do strengthen into a little bit of almost a 5 here, which is a little more here. So today could support some supercellular thunderstorms, so we're seeing tornadoes all the way down here to Little Rock, all the way north into Chicago. And you can see some big time almost up to 7 over there of areas for supercells to form. And then even up here near Peoria could get to some 5s, and even over here, and even here near Chicago, they're thinking some pretty high chances for some supercell development here near Chicago. And even down here into southern Missouri could get some supercell development here. So yeah, that's a big concern here. Whoops. Alright, 1 second. Trying to get to something here. Oh, so now we're going to go into our day 2 outlook here, which is a okay, I need to switch this back to reflectivity. So you can see tomorrow here there is a big enhanced risk. There's not really big, but there's a big risk of severe weather here. Stretching all the way up to Denver here with an enhanced risk of severe weather right here, mostly large hail driven, I think. Here near the Amarillo area will have the biggest threats. This is a really small enhanced risk, but with the biggest threats being near the Amarillo area. And anywhere in this area could get some pretty big severe weather here. And if we go here to the tornado risk, there is a little 5% risk for tornadoes here near Amarillo, and then 2% all the way into the Lubbock areas right there. So a little bit of a lower tornado threat here. But if we go to the wind risk, there is a 15% chance of wind here. But I do think that the enhanced risk is driven from hail. As you can see right here, this is your hail risk. And it's not really showing much on here, but I'm pretty sure this is a hatch significant risk for some very large hail possibility right here near the Amarillo area. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on this and here. So we'll probably have to do the NAM for this storm because the HRRR obviously only goes to 18 hours out, and the NAM 3KM goes all the way up to 58. So if we look at reflectivity here, So you can see some big time supercells could be forming here near this enhanced risk of severe weather here. Some big time supercells like this one right here could form, showing from radar Omega right here. That could produce some big time hailmakers, some big time hailmakers. Maybe some isolated wind damage, but I think more of a big hail threat. And maybe an isolated tornado could form out ahead of these storms too. So they did think, so the NAM3 CAM did think that the biggest area of supercell development could form right in this area right here, near the Amarillo area, right around there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then if we look at the dew points here, I think I might, oh, there. I was on the wrong thing. So you can see some very dry air here. I actually think there could be some fires all the way into these areas, which has been just like a trend lately, just nonstop fires in this area, fire weather risks. Then a big time dry line right there. But for Sunday here, you can see some, you can see the instability. Okay. You can see the dew points is rising around here near 5 p.m. all the way into this area. You can see it reaching above 60 degrees all the way up into here. And even in the 50s over here. So some pretty big dew points to support these thunderstorms around here. And then a big dry line that is forming, and this is just an extreme dry line, guys. This is like 60-degree dew points, and then like 13-degree super dry dew points right here, right behind it. So this is some, this could produce some pretty intense supercells forming beside, along this dry line here, guys. And you can see that just very sharp dry line right there. And then if we look at this super surface-based cape here, you can see some big-time cape forming here. Into the 2000s that can form here to support these supercells development to form here, as you can see right here. And then the big dry line coming in. And then you can see some big-time dew points right here. And even this could support some nocturnal tornadoes, I'm thinking, over here, guys. So, yeah. And then if we look at the supercell composite, you can see some big-time, and I mean big-time supercell composite tomorrow. Around the 6 p.m. time. This is almost getting into the 30s here. This is some extreme supercell composite here near the Clovis area, I think this area. So after looking at these models, this is just some big time supercell development. Tornado threat's a little lower, but the hail threat will really be intense. This is just really supportive for supercells here, guys. So my guess is that the biggest area for large hail, a tornado or two, and some big-time supercell development will be right around this area, right here, is my biggest guess for some big-time supercells to form here. And like the National Weather Service has showed here in the 30% area for hail. And then, so now we are going to look at the day 3 outlook. So now, if we look at the, okay, I need to switch back to normal, because I'm not going to do models on this as of right now. So, you can see, guys, here, this is a big enhanced risk of severe weather here, guys. If we go to the radar here, you can see a big enhanced risk right here in areas like Oklahoma City, Tulsa, all the way up to Wichita that already got in this big tornado that formed over here that Reed Timmer caught on his video that I saw. But anybody that's in this risk area has the biggest threat for some potential severe weather here, including all hazards, I'm pretty sure, with damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes are all possible here. So keep an eye on this. I hope you guys like this video. By tomorrow, I'll probably make an updated, if I'm not busy, I'm probably going to be busy, but if I'm not busy, I might make an updated video for this about the models. So I hope you guys like this video, and bye. Sorry for the really long video.